Hey everyone, Reid Henrichs with Ridge, and today what we're going to talk about is the cleaning and lubrication of your AR-15. One of the biggest problems that I see students have when they come to class is that their guns stop working probably around halfway through day one, and the reason is because they've shot so much ammo through it by then with either too little or no lubrication whatsoever. Guys, rifles, especially ARs, need lubrication. It needs to work. You need to have them clean and you need to have them lubed up. More importantly than clean though is to have them lubed. I'm going to show you how to do both, and you should see a substantial reduction in your stoppages, and the gun should be running like tops because that's what they're designed to do, is to run. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how to clean this and lubricate it in ways that will give you much less problems. Alright everyone, so this is your AR. Of course mine's loaded. It should be loaded when ready for use. So this is the only time I'll ever advise unloading a firearm. Don't worry, I have two other ones immediately around me. I've even got a couple on me. But that said folks, what we've got to do is we've got to unload this thing first. So just drop your magazine, okay, get that out of there. And of course run and lock your bolt back. So we are going to do just that, okay. Alright, lock your bolt back. We're looking for an empty chamber. It is empty. Okay, good deal. So what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to break this thing down. Okay, start by pushing this pin. This is your, you want to do the rear pin first, guys, and it'll break down shotgun style, just like so. Take that bad boy out. Ah, nice and nice and dirty, isn't it? It should be. We had about 1,200 rounds through it the last couple of days. So we need to break this down. Alright, then what you can do is you can take your front pin out as well. Should break apart just like so. First thing we're going to do, guys, is we are going to take the firing pin retaining pin out. And if you can see it right there, it's a small little pin. We just pull that out. My advice to you is to keep your charging handle like this. Put it so that the concave side is up. Then we're just going to put this little guy right inside there. Okay, then what we're going to do is push on the bolt. The firing pin will come out just like this. Okay, we're going to put that in there as well. Then what we're going to do is rotate our firing pin, cam pin. Alright, this one is nice and gritty. So what we need to do is we need to rotate it 90 degrees, like so, and then just pull it straight out of the bolt. Put that in there as well. And of course the bolt piece will come out just like so. Alright folks, now to clean this you'll need a few things. I got some patches here, just some bolt cotton patches, some straight up solvent here. Any of them will do, like the old number 9. And you may, if you want to, and of course, the Marine in me, I've got to do this, folks. If you really want to, you got to have your old AP brush. All right, I even know a guy that used this as a toothbrush. Of course, unused on the rifles, although maybe he used it on his teeth with it. I don't know, pretty hardcore. What we're going to do is we're just going to take a few patches. All right, we are going to take a few of these cotton patches, and we're going to put some solvent on them. It's a very simple process, folks. Very simple. This should not take long at all. If you're spending more than 5 minutes on this, you are wrong. I may take not too long to explain this to you guys. So all we're going to do is take our patches. We're going to wipe down all this stuff, get all that carbon and stuff. You ain't going to get all the carbon. Some carbon is necessary for it. Boy, look at that. That's just a small little wipe on there, and there's all that carbon. When I clean this, guys, I'm also not just cleaning it. What I'm also doing is I'm looking at all of the metal. I'm making sure that all the metal is okay. I'm looking for cracks. I'm looking for pieces of debris inside the bolt, especially under the extractor. If you'll look at the extractor, this small piece right here, we want to make sure that's clear of all kinds of items, and we want to make sure that it's clear. So what I'm doing is I'm wiping this down. Okay, I'm getting on the bolt face in there. I'm wiping it all off, making sure it's clean. All right, making sure that it's clear so that it's nice and good to go underneath that extractor, because this extractor really has to work to get cases out of that chamber. All right, and all I'm doing is wiping it down really good. It doesn't need to be crazy. Alright, all we're doing is getting all that nasty, gunky stuff on out of there, that sludge I like to call it. All it is carbon and a little bit of sludge. So not a big deal. We're not going to immaculately clean this, okay? It's not a CG inspection, not a commanding general's inspection, guys. All we're doing is wiping all that stuff off, making sure that the bolt can move freely. We really want to focus and concentrate here on this bolt stem, right in here, right in this bolt stem is what we want to do. So knock all that off. Next, we want to take the carrier. We want to make sure all this is wiped down. We want to make sure that all this stuff, we just wipe it down, get it all clean. Anywhere that moves, anywhere that slides, we're just going to get all that old grease and all that old carbon off of there. Alright, make sure it's good to go. Making sure that it is smooth when it moves. One thing I do is I'll take this, I really take the the patch, and I stick this down in there with this brush, spin it around a little bit, you know, get it nice and clean. All right, now that should be a lot better, and it is, as you can see. So it's a lot better. Doesn't need to be immaculate. So the next thing we need to do is clean this firing pin off. And we need to clean this firing pin off. All we're doing is wiping it down, okay? Wiping it down so that it's nice and smooth. We want to be able to see silver. That's what we want to be able to see. So next what we do, guys, is we take this cam pin, and we really want to make sure this cam pin is good, nice and smooth, because this is one of the pieces that really gets a lot of movement in it, because it's what holds the bolt to the bolt carrier. So we really want to be able to wipe this down just a little bit here, as you can see. It doesn't need to be immaculate. Like, so many guys will get there and make sure that that's crystal clear. I mean, a lot of guys will make sure that's absolutely immaculate. No, this is good enough, okay? This is good. All right, next thing we want to do, guys, we'll take this, we'll get the inside of the charging handle. Wipe all that stuff down. Make sure it's nice and clean. Get all that gunk off of there, because this part slides as well, too. We want this smooth. We want it clean. Not vital, but it really helps to have this good to go. So now that everything is clean, we want to make sure that it's dry. So we're going to take a patch, a dry patch. We're just going to wipe everything down. Make sure it's dry. So that way the grease will stick to it a lot better. And I'll show you, or we're going to lube this up here pretty soon. Just make sure it's all nice and dry. It's good. Wipe it down. Wipe in all sides of these little channels here. All right, that's good. Very important, guys, we want to make sure the firing pin is dry. This needs to be absolutely dry inside there. Make sure your firing pin is dry. Get that all knocked down. Okay. And of course, make sure the bolt is dry. Get 100% dry on that. Remember, we want to keep everything together, so put that firing pin, retaining pin inside there. Firing pin in there. Put the on all that. So keep this stuff together. Keep it nice and organized. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to wipe down the inside of the upper receiver. All right, it doesn't take much. All right, all we're doing is getting inside of the upper receiver. So we want to take a patch like so. We're just going to reach down in there and wipe this down. Anything that slides. All right, we want to get a little bit of the gunk out. There shouldn't be a whole lot, but just a little bit, no big deal. Another important thing is, guys, we want to get inside that chamber. All right, so just take your pinky and rub the inside of that chamber with a wet patch. All right, get it all inside the chamber in there, because stuff will accumulate inside the chamber. All right, just take your pinky, rub it around, make sure it's clean. All right, as you can see, that's not too bad at all, just a little bit. Now, if people spend way too much time, they get over like obsessive compulsive about this. People say, what about the lower? Well, I just look and make sure that everything's clean, and everything is. Now, if you want to take this buffer spring out, that's not a big deal. If you want to take this buffer spring out, you can. I really don't bother with it too much because it moves and it's good to go. I haven't really ever had a stuck buffer tube or a spring in there, so just make sure it works. Press in on it. It should move like that. If it starts to get tough, just take it out, wipe it down a little bit. No big deal. Make sure your magazine well is clear. Make sure the trigger, make sure everything inside that is clear. Make sure everything inside the trigger is good. It's not gunked up. Make sure it's nice and lubed. That's good to go inside there. Hammer moves, hammer falls. It's all good. All right, so now is the most important part of this about the lubrication. We want to use wheel bearing grease. This stuff's at Walmart. You can get it for like $3, $4 or something. You've got a lifetime supply of lube. And why do I use it as lubrication? For a couple reasons. Number one, the stuff stays put. It doesn't run off like oil does. Oil does, it runs off quite a bit. I've seen it like make rifles bone dry very quickly. Oil also burns off pretty quick, guys. Grease stays put, it's thick, it's obviously very lubricated, it's a high lubrication, it works, and this works in cold, it also works in sand, it also works in tropical environments. It works everywhere. It's a good lubrication and it's cheap. Some of you guys are going to ask about other products. Well, what about this? Hey, if you want to pay 7 times what you're going to pay for grease, go ahead. Spend your extra money on stuff that does the same thing. Get the high temperature wheel bearing grease. It's good to go. You won't have to buy it anymore. I've used this on students' guns, probably, I don't know, a few hundred of them, and you can see that it's hardly even dented. All right, so this is the way to go. So what I do is I just take a little bit, just like this, and I'm going to put it on the stem of this bolt. As you can see, a nice visible layer. It doesn't need to be slathered on there, but we want to have a decent amount in there. And so I roll around like that. That's good enough right there. That's more than enough. All right, what we got to do now is the cam pin. So we're just going to put a little bit on there as well. Roll it around. That cam pin's good. All right. Firing pin stays dry. Leave this dry. Okay. And what we're going to do now, guys, is we're going to put some lube on the bolt. And what we need to do is make sure anything that slides, so we're going to put a glob right there, glob right there, glob right there, and of course a glob right there. Now folks, that's it. That's all you lube on your bolt carrier. Put it back together again, put the bolt in. Now there's two holes in there. One of them, the cam pin's gonna fit in. The other one, it's not going to fit in. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're gonna try one. Okay, that's not the right one. So we'll just rotate it over. And then we're gonna put this one in. Rotate it 90 degrees. Pull it out. Take your firing pin up like this. I like to grab it around like this, guys. I like to put my hand around there. That way it fits. And we're just gonna drop it in there. Should drop straight in there. It is. And then we're going to take our firing pin, retaining pin, and we're just going to push it in there like this. All right, all the way in. Good. And to test it, make sure it's in right. Pop the bolt, move it out. Pop the bolt, move it out. All right, good. Firing pin's still in there. Means we're put together properly. Now to put it together, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to take the charging handle and the upper receiver like this. We're going to put it in like so. Put the bolt in. Make sure the bolt is extended, guys. Make sure the bolt is pulled extended. What I mean is pull the bolt out. And then what we're going to do is just put it in, line it up, shove it all the way in, just like so. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are going to snap the pieces together again, just like so. Front one first. And then the rear one. Okay, we're going to make sure it works. Like silk, real smooth. Alright, put it on safe, try to fire, good. Put it on fire, press and hold, pull it back, let it out, press again, press and hold, put it on safe, jet pour cover closed, and that is a functional, clean AR-15. Well everyone, I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you did, subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook. And remember, a lubed up gun is a happy gun, just like running a car with motor oil in it. You gotta have that lubrication on there. They're machines. They need lubrication to work, and that grease stays put on there. It stays put and it works like a charm in pretty much every environment that I've been in. This is Reid Henrichs with Valor Ridge, and remember, the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.